Hi everybody, I'm John Canary.
And I'm Jim Ruda.
And we're back with Turning Points. Things that happen in people's lives that seem to turn them around and move them in a new direction. A direction they never thought possible at one time. And you know, a great story that comes to mind, Jim, with me. I always remember this story by Mr. Earl Nightingale. And the story he tells is about a preacher who was trying to get ready for his very first sermon on a Sunday morning. He was really conflicted as to what he was going to talk about. So he gets in his car and he takes a drive out in and around the community, out in the farm country. And you know, Jim, as he went down that street, he found, and you and I do this almost every day where we live, he found some farms that were rather nice, some that were poorly looked after. And he couldn't understand the difference in all of these farms until he got to the end of a street and he noticed this magnificent farm. The painting, the animals, everything seemed to be so well cared for. And he was kind of really motivated to go over and talk to the farmer who seemed to be just doing some work at the end of the street. He got out of the car and he approached this man, Jim, and he said, "Sir, I couldn't help but notice God has blessed you with a magnificent farm." And the farmer thought about that for a moment. He said, "Reverend, he most certainly has." He said, I know that everything I have here today has been a result of God's blessings. But Reverend, you should have been here when God had this place all to himself. And I know, Jim, that the same is true in our business life, is it not?
Wow, boy, John, what a great story and a great thing to remember. And I tell you, it kind of reminds me of one of the principles of excellent performance that I talk about when I work with advisors around the world. It has to do with this idea of there's no magic, just effort. Sometimes I think we find people in business, of all kinds of businesses, they think, well, the people that really do well, they have the magic potion. They've got the secret. They've got that special idea. Somehow they get it, and most people don't. And those kinds of problems, I think, really hold people back. But instead, if they discover, like that farmer did, that you put in the effort, you can have an amazing farm. Yes, you can use your blessings. I guess you can make your blessings count. You can really do something with them. And what we've discovered, and I think what agents and what business people all over have to realize, that what they want to do is make sure they put in the effort, because there is no magic. There's just digging in. There's working hard. By the way, you didn't say, well, I guess I'm just going to work smart. I don't have to work hard. Boy, as they tell me in the South, that dog don't hunt. That's not the way it works. You really have to dig in. You have to work hard and work smart, and you'll never have a problem. And you will have that great farm that you talked about in your story.
You know, what a great story, Jim. In fact, as you were saying this, and as you know, we don't prepare that much to do these things because we want them to come directly from within here. And I couldn't help but think about a great mentor of mine that I worked with for a long time, Bob Proctor. And one time we were sitting in Chicago, as a matter of fact, the Hillside Holiday Inn, I'll never forget it, where we were working with the great Prudential. And Bob and I made a decision that morning that we were going to take one chapter out of the great Think and Grow Rich that I have behind me here. And it was called Persistence. And we both agreed and made a commitment that we would read that chapter every single day. And you know, Jim, that's exactly the message you just left me with, is if I plant the seed of persistence in my mind, and I consistently do that every day, what I'm going to grow on my farm will be nothing short of amazing.
Amen, brother.
We'll be back with our next message on Turning Point. Look forward to seeing you.